We're going to talk a lot about tables. You may already be familiar with the concept. Think about a grocery list that you've made in the past. Most likely it was one long list. In each row was the item you wanted to buy. Maybe you were a little bit more fancy and had two columns in your list. Not only the item you wanted to buy, but also the quantity that you wanted to buy. We could represent that list in a table. We would give our table a name like grocery list. We would define two columns. The first column we would call quantity. In the second column, could call product. We would then add a new row for each of the things we wanted to buy at the grocery store. We could add a row on the table to buy 1 bag of apples, and we could add another row on the table to buy 2 gallons of milk. After we added all of our grocery items to the table, we could print it out and take it to the grocery store. We've made a grocery list. If you've used a spreadsheet before, you may have made some more complicated lists. Let's think of a slightly more complicated example. Let's say you want to track the books that you've read. Let's imagine how that might look in a list or a spreadsheet. And then we'll think about that same system if it were stored in a table. Let's create a spreadsheet called Books. In that sheet, we'll get several columns: title, author, edition, copyright, date started reading, and date finished reading. We can now start to add rows or data to our spreadsheet. Maybe we started to read Frankenstein for Halloween. If we think about the table version of the book data, we need the same information. One of the main differences when representing a table is we often don't represent the data stored in the table when we show the structure of that table. If I talk about a table called Books with the same fields in it, it would look like this one. It shows the name of the table as Books, and it shows there are 6 columns in that table named Title, Author, Edition, Copyright, Date Started Reading, and Date Finished Reading. Because so many of us are familiar with spreadsheets, when we want to show the contents of a table, it will often look exactly like the spreadsheet example I gave before. In future videos, I'll share how we use tables to increase data safety.